Volunteers are a vital part of the work we do at Back Bay Mission. Without the hundreds of volunteers we welcome to the Mississippi Gulf Coast each year, we wouldn't be able to strengthen neighborhoods, seek justice, and transform lives through ministries like our housing rehabilitation program, the Micah Day Center, and our food pantry. I'm Chris Marlin Warfield, the Church Relations Associate here at Back Bay Mission, and this National Volunteer Week I want to introduce you to a few of the volunteers who take time out of their busy lives to serve the poor and marginalized of the Mississippi Gulf Coast and the people of the United Church of Christ through their work with Back Bay Mission.
I'm Carol Merriman. I live in River Falls, Wisconsin. I belong to First Congregational United Church of Christ. I was born and raised in River Falls, grew up in the First Congregational Church. I moved away for a bit, raised my children, and moved back.
Carol first got involved with Back Bay Mission after Hurricane Katrina, when she came to the Gulf Coast with a Habitat for Humanity group. It was during this time that she learned about Back Bay Mission and the work that we do.
When Katrina hit, I went to Biloxi through Habitat, and then I found out more about Back Bay. I hadn't heard of Back Bay actually until Katrina, and when I was down there, we actually went and visited Back Bay. I happened to be with people from from church that knew about Back Bay, so we went and visited some people that they knew from Back Bay, and from that point on, I've been very involved in Back Bay. We come at least every 2 years, and now I've wrangled my way into getting an adult group in between the years of the youth groups. So for the past 3 years, I've been down there every year.
Carol also volunteers at the mission by going to churches and other expressions of the United Church of Christ to share about her experiences on the Mississippi Gulf Coast and encourage others to get involved. I asked her what it was like to come to the Mississippi Gulf Coast in the aftermath of Hurricane Katrina.
Well, like I said, the people that I came down with Habitat also had been down here. Actually, one of the people that was with me had a son-in-law that was stationed in Biloxi, and so because he went to the UCC church and his family was down there, he was well acquainted with Back Bay and knew quite a bit about it and knew the people that some of the staff and the director, and so he wanted to just say hi, so I went along, and he was kind of doing a meet and greet and things, and I honestly don't remember who it was, and but I do remember that it left a mark in my brain because it was very recently after Katrina, and they just did what they could to keep going. And the staff that we talked to really made an impact on in my brain about how they were needed to just keep going. Like, there was just no question. They weren't going to fold up and disappear just because Katrina hit. It was more, we need to do this, and maybe it's not even what they were used to doing, but they, picked up the pace and did everything that they could so that they could continue even after all of the even nonprofits and different people that came in to help right away were starting to already leave by the time I got there, and it was only a couple of months. And they really impacted me by saying, we're here for forever, and so we're going to do what we need to do. And that really, really made an impact on my life because I knew that this was the place that was very similar to my thought process, and they weren't doing it for any gain other than who they were helping, and it wasn't a corporation that was trying to help someone or the corporation making money or making a name so that they could get on the news, or you know their mission was to help families get back in their homes. And um, that was really made an impact on me. So from that point on, it was my desire, and I we need to keep coming back, and um, so we do.
Carol started by bringing a group of youth to Back Bay Mission every second year, and recently has started bringing a group of adults in the years that the youth don't come. This experience of being on the Mississippi Gulf Coast and serving people at Back Bay Mission has proven so powerful for the church that it's become a tradition.
We know that every other year the youth are going to come down here, um, or come down there, and um, 2016 is the year that we're supposed to come, and our spring break for our school district is Holy Week, and so our pastor can't come, and so he's not going, and so the kids are. I've had a few of them come up to me. Well, we can come down without him, can't we? So it's like tradition in our church. This is what we do. And now I'm trying to start that tradition in the odd years of the youth, the adult go down. So I've got 11 coming down in April, and way looking forward to it. It's just part of my life.
It's not just a part of Carol's life, of course, but a part of the lives of the people who she brings to Back Bay Mission on mission trips. The experience of Back Bay Mission reverberates throughout the lives of the youth who come to the Mississippi Gulf Coast and affects their relationships in their own towns and in their own church communities.
For me, it brings the youth aware of what's out there, and it's a good way for the youth to understand that there is life outside of River Falls, and it's not that far away. You know, it's a few hour airfare or air flight, or a 24-hour drive, and you're in another world, literally. And they talk about it for years, literally. It's I was just talking to a guy that is a senior in college, and he went when he was a sophomore in high school, and he still talks about it. It makes an impact on these kids' lives, and so when we have what they call an internship after confirmation to try and keep the high school kids involved in church, and one of the things that they can do to get hours, if they get 50 hours, they get a scholarship for college, and one of the ways that they can do that is working for Habitat. Because obviously we can't go down to Back Bay all the time, but although if they do go to Back Bay, they get hours also. But in between the Back Bay trips, we can go to Habitat, and some of them are willing to do that and excited to do that because they've had the experience at Back Bay, and they know that, well, I can do that. This is this piece of cake. I can go there for one Saturday, and it's fun, and and it makes it. For the kids, for me, it is seeing how the kids can open up. It's like a bud of a flower that blossoms and blooms in a week's time, and then it even grows farther once they get home and go out into the community. But even just seeing them communicate with others at church, where parents will tell me, they never would have talked to this gentleman or that, that woman, or, but Back Bay experience opened them up and just made them a different person, so that they were willing and able to communicate with others that maybe weren't like them. But it was easy now for them to talk to others. Just little things like that. You know what I mean?
This is the power of Back Bay Mission, to transform the lives not only of the people we serve on the Mississippi Gulf Coast, but of the people who serve with us. It is the opportunity to open our eyes and hearts and then return to our own communities, to strengthen neighborhoods, seek justice, and transform lives.
It's different. I've been to Guatemala. I've been to Honduras. those are all fantastic experiences that I'll never forget. But this is the United States, and and that to me is um, really an experience that you should encounter, to realize that you don't have to go outside the United States to do good, to do God's work, but that it's really, really necessary down there. And there's a need down there that you might not experience in urban or suburban USA.
To learn more about volunteering at Back Bay Mission, please visit our website, thebackbaymission.org. If you're interested in a mission trip, dates are still available for 2016.